Hey guys, today we have a 1966 Ford GT40 Mark II, courtesy of Time Machine Motorsports in Clarence. There is a great story behind this car. Back in the 60s, at one point Ferrari was actually for sale, and Ford was actually going to buy them. But the deal didn't end up going through, and Ford was pretty mad at Ferrari. So you know what Ford did? They put all their money into making a fast car to beat Ferrari at Le Mans. And you know what happened? The first Ford GT40 Mark I didn't cut it. It lost. But the Mark II came out and we kicked Ferrari's butt. And let me tell you, this car is absolutely crazy to ride in. Now, the reasoning behind the name of the GT40 is purely because the car is 40 inches tall. This thing barely comes up to my hip. It's very low to the ground, very go-kart light, and super fast on a racetrack. Some of you may notice that this car looks pretty similar to another vehicle Ford made in the 2000s, and that would be the Ford GT. Well, believe it or not, this vehicle was the canvas for the Ford GT, and in the styling, you can really see a lot of cues put into the newer vehicle from the older vehicle. Now, keep in mind, this car was made in 1966, but yet the styling still looks modern and cool. We have enclosed headlights for very good aerodynamics. We have this huge dip with the fans right there. We move along. We have these big intakes right here, and of course in the back. And at the tail we have huge dual exhausts. Now let's talk performance. And to do that, I had to take you to the middle of the vehicle where the engine's located. We have a 427 cubic inch V8. And as you see, this V8's not covered up by plastics like you might see in modern day engines. Everything's exposed. Everything looks awesome. You can even see the suspension, the tires. It's much like today's supercars, because back in the day, this was a supercar. Now, the power on this vehicle is 550 horsepower and 535 foot-pounds of torque. That's a lot of power for a vehicle that only weighs 2,400 pounds. So yeah, you can imagine how fast this thing actually is. Okay guys, now it's time to go to the interior. The door handles are actually very similar to the door handles that you might find on a Jaguar. What you do is just push in right here and grab it and pull. Notice how part of the actual roof of the car comes off. And there's the interior. Let's get in. We're in the interior of the Ford GT40 right now, and my elbow goes right up against the tub. You're in a little tub. Your feet are in this little tube down here where the pedals are. You're very low to the ground. It's very cramped in here, but it really does feel performance oriented. You won't find an airbag right here. You won't even find a radio in here. This thing is bare bones, lightweight, and great. There's your engine starter, followed by all the other gauges in a similar layout to the Ford GT, because this is the canvas for it. There's all your necessary lights and switches. You have a real wood handle saying GT40 on the top of it. You have your handbrake, and actually the interior quality feels really nice. These seats are Alcantara. Everything's Alcantara. It's very strong material, and it's very comfortable too. You got a fire extinguisher over there, because you know that's casual. You have a 4-point harness too. And honestly, I mean, it's road trippable. The owner of this vehicle actually said that one of the people we sold to actually drove this car across the country, and I believe it, but definitely a little cramped. But still, the looks you get in this thing, totally worth it. So let's start it up. 427 cubic inch. Fire in the hole. Fire in the hole.